folks,
roll out.
Jingles here again with my World of Tanks replays, and this time it's a heavy tank, the French ARL 44 Tier 6 heavy tank. Tier 6 heavy tanks, they're hard tanks to love. It's mostly because of the matchmaker. They get absolutely horrific matchmaking. You will regularly find most of your games are tier 9 and 10. And that's a tough environment to do well in, especially in a tank that has less than 1,000 health, tissue paper for armour, and isn't particularly mobile, and has a gun that takes about a week for its sights to settle on the target.
We nailed it bad.
But the good thing about the ARL 44, or the aerial as it's affectionately referred to by, well, somebody must like it, is that gun. It has the best penetration of any tier 6 tank. In fact, it's got the best penetration of any tier 7 tank. I can't remember the exact figure, but it's well over 200. It's either 212 or 232. It's a very, very good penetrating gun. The only problem is, as you'll see, or as you may have just seen there, as you'll see in a minute, is the length of time it takes for these sights to settle on the target. This ARL is fully upgraded, by the way. It's got the top engine, it's got the top gun, the 90mm, and it's not that slow. It's reasonable ability, but its armour is useless. The gun is its only saving grace. But the gun does have a big drawback, and that's, as we'll see, the aiming time. It takes forever for the sights to settle down and guarantee a hit on the target. Although, to be fair,
looks like that one went right
once they
through.
do settle down, you do get hits on target. And with that amount of penetration, you're practically guaranteed to do some damage.
Penetration.
There you go.
Enemy brewed up.
And we've set him on fire, and he's not having a very good day. Now, there's all sorts of enemy tanks rushing the hill up there. I'll take a speculative shot at that Panther, you never know. Even a broken clock tells the right time twice a day. We might have hit him. So, yeah, ARL 44, tough tank to love, but that's true of all of the tier 6 heavies, and that's down at the matchmaking again. But if you can't handle being in a tier 6 tank in a tier 9 or 10 game, then you really need to give up grinding the heavy tanks, or
Enemy vehicle knocked down.
or you can just grind through them on free XP, because in my opinion, you don't really start playing heavy tanks until tier 7. The Germans get the Tiger and the Tiger P. The Americans get the fantastic T-29. The Russians get the IS, which is it's a good all-rounder. I do like my IS. And the French get the AMX M4 1945, which I've very recently unlocked, and I'm quite liking it. It's not bad. It's not good by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not terrible. But back to the ARL. As we're going to see, the gun is actually pretty good.
Looks like that one went right through.
Alright, that's only an AMX 5120. It's not famed for having the heaviest armour in the game, but I just penetrated and did a substantial amount of damage to their tier 9 tank. My crappy little piece of shit ARL. So yeah, happy with that.
Enemy is hit.
But because of the reload time and the amount of time you have to spend aiming, you don't want to be going anywhere alone in this tank. It doesn't have the alpha damage. It takes too long. For example, if you're peekabooing around a corner,
Penetration.
first of all, you need to expose your front, which has a relatively good angle on it, but is really crappy armour. Secondly, it takes too long for you to aim to guarantee a hit on what you're shooting at. Thirdly, by the time you squeeze the trigger and get your shot off, it's too late. They've already hit you and they've backed off around the corner.
Penetration.
So if you're going to go anywhere in the ARL, even if you're top dog, you need to go with friends. This tank goes anywhere alone, it's going to die. It might do a bit of damage before that happens, like
They're
so,
hit.
but you really need to go with friends. So yeah, we're going to push up this hill, but we're not going to do it alone. We're going to wait for the big boys to come. So I'm going to speed things up here a little and just wait for the game to develop. Now remember, we're in tier 6 heavy and this is a tier 9 match. Not an ideal environment, but again, if you're going to play heavy tanks, you better get used to it, because you're going to have to grind your way through here before you get to the good stuff at tier 7 and 8, where it really starts to get proper heavy tank gameplay. Speed things up slightly again till we get the crest of the hill, and then things start hotting up again. So yeah, I've already got one kill, and I've damaged a whole bunch of tanks, and it's looking like we could win this. T-28's just informed us that their Tiger and Tiger 2 are still camping their base, which isn't helping their case any. So I've acknowledged that. Let's get down this hill and see what happens when we get to the bomb. And it looks like we've beaten their defenders. In fact, what it looks like is everybody went up to the hill, got beaten back and killed, and nobody was in the formed a second line of defence. And there's some good teamwork going on here. Let's just put a quick shot at that GW Panther. The guys who are guarding the base have just said in team chat, come on guys, let's attack across the field. Let's rush them and support the guys coming over the hill. And that's exactly what they're doing. And this is what wins games. It doesn't matter who's got what tanks. If you don't work as a team, you stand a much lower chance of doing well. And I've actually not taken a single scratch. Although that's going to change very soon. Oh, there's the GW Panther, not hiding quite as well as he thought he was. But he's got a very, very big friend who's about to give me the good news.
They're hit. One of our tracks
That
was
was
hit.
nasty. That was the M41 tier 5 artillery. Just wiped me out.
Got him.
But I got the last laugh. So yeah, it was teamwork that won us this game. Minimal defences back at the base. Everybody else pushed up through the village or underneath the plateau and around the hill. Played patiently. Killed the attackers. Went around, followed up, and the guys in the base supported our flanking attack by coming across the field, and we won, which is great. And again, tier 6 heavy tank in a tier 9 game, and look at that. It is possible. I mean, you shouldn't expect this in every game. Most time you're going to be the first tank knocked out and you're going to rage, you're going to be frustrated, but it is possible to get 3 kills, sniper and Confederate in a high tier game in a Turd on tracks tier 6 heavy tank. So there you go, that was the ARL 44. My name's Jingles, and you've been watching my World of Tanks replays.